So the other day I came across a series of videos from Protoxxgaming and Chivalric. Protoxxgaming made a video on is RuneScape becoming more AFK and why no one plays Dungeoneering. And then I saw another video from Chivalric talking about Ironman mode and the problems it has with Ironman mode. When watching these videos, I got the feeling that they were talking about the same topic, or the same general broad topic, which would be degenerate gameplay. And I don't see anyone talking about this because I feel like degenerate gameplay is the right word to use. So let's go over these videos and why I think it's degenerate. To start off with, the RuneScape is becoming more AFK. That one is the major talking point, right? In that video, Protox listed out all of the reasons why RuneScape is becoming AFK, and some valid reasons and some not so valid. In my opinion, when it comes to RuneScape becoming AFK, it depends based off of the skill that is in question. I think skills that have strong themes and thematics shouldn't be breaking their themes and thematics for AFK training methods, and these mainly come up with Treasure Hunter, right? And the problems that come from this is that when you have these training methods that are so easy and accessible for players to use, they will default to that and ignore the skill outright. And as RuneScape skills are becoming more and more complicated ever since the release of Summoning, this now facilitates more degenerate gameplay styles or methods being introduced into the game, and no one talks about this, and it hurts the long-term progression of the game. This leads into Chivalric's video. Chivalric's made a video discussing why he doesn't like the Ironman mod gameplay and some of the issues that he finds, and one of the major issues that he brought up in that video was the overabundance of daily activities that can give rewards and XP, and that's present in the Ironman game mode. So I want to take that and talk about one type of degenerate gameplay that I found really problematic in RuneScape, which would be daily challenges. In my opinion, daily challenges over-reward the players for very little activity that they put in. When you break it down, you get 3 daily keys when you log in, which is for Treasure Hunter. You then get your 3 daily tasks, which are all just XP lamps. That also rewards you with 3 daily keys, so then now you have 6 keys altogether, and then you also make progression onto your weekly progression path, right? Altogether you have 6 daily keys, and then you get whatever you get on your progression path, which may or may not include a skip token. And skip token itself is broken because you're supposed to be skipping an activity to make progress on your progression path, but you still get the XP and you still get the reward, the Treasure Hunter key, right? So what players do, or the culture that players foster, is all I need to do is log onto the game, do my daily challenges, and then I'll make progress in the game. And that to me is a very hurtful, toxic way of playing the game, because it means you don't need to interact with the game. It means that all of the content that Jaggers have made over the years is made redundant, because a player can just log on and do a daily challenge, and then do 6 daily keys on the Treasure Hunter, which ultimately is like 9 XP lamps, which can range between 10k XP to 100k XP depending on where your level is. Like, that is a lot of XP just for logging in and doing like 5 to 10 minutes of work, right? How can you not tell me that it's not degenerate when it's actively taking away players' knowledge, or knowledge that they can possibly build of the game in activities that are present in the game, especially with newer skills, right? A lot of these newer skills have multiple progression paths attached to them, and you need to understand them and you need to actively play them to understand them. What I fear, especially with Necromancy, is that once the grace period for Necromancy is over, players will level to 99 and not understand how the hell Necromancy works, which already has happened with Archaeology, and already has happened with Invention, and already has happened with all the other skills, right, ever since Summoning. And players will never know about the breadth of content that RuneScape has to offer, and I would label this as degenerate, because you're actively taking away, you're removing players from understanding how the game is played and what the game actually entails. And you are given a full sense of accomplishment, right? Because when you obtain 99 in a given skill, it should represent mastery, or at the very least some level of competence in that skill. When you have a skill like Archaeology, for example, you can obtain 99 and not even get your degrees, right? You cannot get your intern, you cannot get your professors, anything like that. That massively changes how you play the game. Because let's say you want to get into endgame PvMing, which RuneScape 3 is heavily about. Well, you need all these perks and relics, right? Well, you need to go back and you need to backtrack. You're now making a player who has leveled to 99 backtrack and go and do these activities. And the reason they're doing them is because you are offering them a alternative that's you're offering them an alternative that's a substitute rather than a supplement. And that's the difference, right? the way I see it, that daily challenges and anything like that should supplement your journey to 99, not be a substitute for your journey to 99. And it seems to me that we are getting a lot of substitutes. And again, this goes back to Protox's video regarding why no one plays Dungeoneering. This goes back to Chevalric's Hardcore Ironman video, right? The point here is that Runescape is adding these systems and they are not well integrated with other systems in the game. And they lead to degenerate gameplay loops that comes from the game, and that is only focus there is to get players to spend money on Treasure Hunter, or spend money and get to end game and only focus on the end game. It seems to me that the game is going down the direction of the destination, not the journey, right? Because in my opinion, RuneScape is a game that focuses on the journey, not the destination, and this is backwards, which ultimately leads into players feeling dissatisfied from playing the game. It's no wonder that when you see a friend, popular RuneScape content creator, old school and RuneScape 3, whenever he makes a new Ironman on RuneScape 3, he's going right through the game, right? Now, part of that is because it's his job and he has all that time to burn on the game, but part of that is because he is very well equipped at finding degenerate gameplay loops and abusing them to get to 99 as fast as he possibly can. But it's okay for him, right? Because he has a learning mindset. It's not okay for the people who don't have that learning mindset, or the people who just log on and it has like 5-10 minutes to dedicate to the game, because they will not learn, right? So they'll just learn to log on and log off. And I think that's very harmful and toxic for the long-term health of the game, and I'll label it as degenerate. And there are other systems like this that I would urge Jagex to rethink and reevaluate how it is applied in the game. Now, to end this off, I will offer some solutions on how I would personally rework the daily challenge activities. To start off, I would remove daily challenges on Ironman mode. There is more than enough activities that Ironman mode could do, and I think daily challenges makes it redundant for them to do those activities, and it's also antithetical towards Ironman mode as a gameplay. So that's one thing. The next thing I would do is I would remove daily keys or the option to choose between getting the XP reward or the daily keys. So there's a choice in what you are doing. I think giving them both of them is too much power, and it also helps towards leading to degeneracy, right? The next thing I would do is I would change how the skip token works. The skip tokens allows you to essentially skip a task by not doing the task and still getting the XP reward and the treasure hunter key. I'll remove that entirely. Now skip tokens would only skip that task, and you won't get the XP reward, you won't get the treasure hunter key, right, if you still keep that system, but you will make progress on your weekly progression path, and that's only what the skip token should do. With those two changes, I think a lot will change. What I predict will happen is that players will hate it at first, and then eventually they'll adapt, right? That's what happens when you talk about degenerate gameplay loops in other games, right? Particularly strategy games, right? In a game like Yu-Gi-Oh, when there's a ban list and it targets a degenerate gameplay deck, right? What ends up happening is that players just default towards what's the next best thing, right? Or the next best degenerate gameplay strategy, right? And they'll just go down the list. And there's, as I said earlier, there's a lot of content in RuneScape that players can do that is just as effective in time that they can do. That I think is a better alternative than just having players do a task that takes 5 minutes long and that just gives them an overabundance amount of XP. Overall, I would also prefer if Jagex remade the daily challenges back to how it used to be, where it used to be you would get one daily task, but it was a longer task, right? I think that system would be better, but I don't think that's what they want. And overall, that's what I would do to make changes towards the daily challenge system, because I don't think it is healthy for the game, as I think it is in its current state is degenerate.